Hey everybody, this is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panam. I just want to give you an update on what's going on with Emily. We've got a lot of heat obviously going on here in the Carolinas the next couple of days, but a lot of folks are planning that last week out at the beach, the last weekend before school starts, and a lot of folks will be heading to the South and North Carolina beaches, so I wanted to show you what's going on with Emily. I'm not overly concerned right now, and I'm going to tell you why here in a second. Here's a close-up view of the storm. You can see rather impressive outflow. That's the upper level winds, the anticyclone or the high pressure aloft, which is venting this storm, causing this big blow up of thunderstorms right in the middle. The center appears to be relocating a little bit to the west. And as we take a look at where the hurricane hunters are right now, you can see where they're flying. These are the vortex messages that came out. You can see the pressure was 1,005 millibars. The pressure appears 1,004. So the center, to me, is looks like it's trying to reform here. If you take a look at where the actual icons are from the last advisory, that's the track off to the north and west. And if we throw some of the models on here, let's take those off. This is the GFDL. You can see trying to move it up here. So somewhere in here, the GFDL, to me, seems to have a pretty good handle on where this could be going. This is the Hurricane Wharf. And you can see all of them take it up here off the southeast coast and then recurve it back out to sea. So this is where things get kind of interesting. When you take a look at the water vapor loop, and we're going to take a look at another one, a lot of dry air out ahead of this system. And also, if you look at the track, all the tracks take it right across Hispaniola, which is the island with Dominican Republic and Haiti in it. And if I turn off the satellite imagery, you could see this is a very mountainous country here that would probably tear this storm apart. So the question is, would this system even make it past Hispaniola? When you take a look at the models, here's the look at all the models from Google Earth. You could see all of them are trending up over Hispaniola and then moving off to the east side of the Bahamas. There's definitely a shift to the east, especially with some of the global models and the tropical models, keeping it well offshore. As you take a look at the water vapor loop, this is a wider view. There's our system right there. Notice all the dry air over the middle and northern Caribbean there. That's going to be tough to overcome. It's not real conducive for strengthening. You start to see some of the steering currents up here over the United States. Big ridge of high pressure baking the middle of the country. Trough in the Alaskan Gulf. And then here comes our systems. There's a little dip in the jet stream over the northeast, which is the weakness between the subtropical ridge here over the Atlantic and the big ridge over the middle of the country. So it's going to want to get up in here, but then the ridge reestablishes itself over the United States. You get that big subtropical ridge over the middle of the Atlantic, and that's going to want to steer it back to the north and the east. When you take a look at the intensity models, notice all of them try to bring it up somewhere around a Category 1. Right in here would be it crossing over Hispaniola, the weakening, and then kind of peaking here. The GFDL does blow it up to a Cat 2, but there's questions whether it would maybe even make it that far. As you look at the shear, you can see there is also some shear over Hispaniola and just to the north with the dry air. So not a really favorable environment the farther north and west it gets. You can see the big ridge there. When you look at the steering currents, you can see our ridge of high pressure. Once it gets up here into the Bahamas, the westerlies are going to want to take over, and it's going to want to recur pretty rapidly. So the only way that I see it getting too close to the coast is if the trough lingers here or this ridge over the Atlantic builds back to the west. But based on the persistence of this big 500 millibar ridge over the middle of the United States, I just don't see that happening. I mean, this has been a common feature here for most of July and now early August, which has been causing the heat. So I don't really anticipate that thing moving all that much. As we go back here, we'll put the infrared back on. You get a good view of just how explosive some of these thunderstorms are. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it's getting stronger, but this is going to mean a lot of rain for the Dominican Republic and Haiti. This could be a huge disaster for them, which would help save the United States from too much because that will likely tear it apart. So we'll keep an eye on it, but right now, if I had plans on the North, South Carolina coast, the Georgia coast, east coast of Florida, I would anticipate some big surf, but I would not be changing my plans. As always, you need to pay attention to the forecast. The forecast up in this area actually has an average error of about 250 to 300 miles. That's the average error. With this one, it could be a lot more. So that's the latest on Emily. I'll try to keep you up to date on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Hope you're enjoying the heat, and I will talk to you later.